Just about all of us knows what it feels like to be frustrated by your parents. All of us have at some point been frustrated by a mom or a dad, even if they meant well. The same thing with us as parents. We know it's so easy to frustrate your children, even if you mean well. Now, that's exactly what Paul is saying in Ephesians chapter 6 when he says, "Fathers, do not exasperate your children, but bring them up in the training and discipline of the Lord." This word exasperate and frustration, it's so easy to find ourselves in a place where we frustrate our kids. That's where we're going to pause in this episode of our podcast. When it comes to training our kids, teaching our kids, they go through a few seasons. Just in short, there's the disciplined years from 0 to 5, or the training years right after that from 5 to 12, where it's more about the reasoning and not just the consequence. Then there's the coaching years from 12 to 18, and hopefully from 18 and beyond, you find the friendship years, and you can reap the reward of all the hard work that went into the earlier few stages. Now remember, your children will go through these stages, the discipline years, the training years, the coaching years. They'll go through these stages naturally, and they won't warn you moving from the one to the next. But as parents, we need to be pretty intentional about it. Now, what I want to share with you this morning is making sure that right there from the very beginning, in the disciplined years, where it's about action and the consequences, good or bad, to the actions taken, that we make sure that we limit frustration, that we at least have a thought about making sure that we align our hearts with what God says so that we do not exasperate or frustrate our children. You see, one of the things where we frustrate our children pretty easily and more often than you'd think is in the area of truth. If I were to ask you, do you like lying to your children? All of us would say, no, of course not. If I were to ask you, do you want to be truthful in everything that you do? We'd all answer, yes, of course. And especially if we want to live our lives according to the Word and God's character and what He has in store for us. But it's so easy to find ourselves in a place where we actually lie to our children constantly. Let me explain. For me and my wife Lisa, one of the things we found very early in our life is that if we are not intentional about things, if we don't think about it and really align our hearts, things just go the way they go. And we just do things the way that either culture does it or the way we see. But it's so important knowing what we're aiming at. Now, remember in our previous installment, we talked about Paul pointing to obedience and respect. So the two things to be addressed is disrespect and disobedience. But the third one that I just mentioned, dishonesty, we very often overlook because it's so easy to find ourselves at a place where we build habits into our lives that actually teach our children to be disrespectful almost by being dishonest. Let me explain. Our children, in their nature, they're childish. They will act like kids. So there will be instances that you need to address, that you need to be clear about the consequence of a specific action. But if we communicate, we've got to make sure that we mean what we say and that we say what we mean. We've got to communicate in a way where our children can see what is truly valuable to us. We want them to be people of truth, honest people. So we have to be honest parents. If we give consequence about their actions, for example, our children, they're playing and we give them instruction to pack up their things because they've got to take a bath before dinner or whatever. If we give them instruction and say, listen, pack away your things because you've got to go bath now. And they still keep on playing without any reaction to us. And we come back and say, didn't I tell you to pack up? Didn't I tell you to put away your things? You've got to go bath now. Third time we come in now the volume gets raised. We are frustrated. They can see in our face we are angry now. We mean what we say, and now they react. What have we done? We have taught them the previous 2 times that they don't have to listen until we either shout or the levels of anger raise and frustration raise. So we teach them that they only have to listen when mommy gets angry. That's not what we want. Secondly, if we tell them, listen, you've got to do this. You've got to bring the bags in or bring your bicycle in, and they don't do it, looking at us with that defiant look, 3-year, 4-year-old defiant look, looking at us, and we're going, listen, did you hear what I said? I'm going to count to 3, 1, 2, and they know before we reach 3, they've got to listen. What are we doing? We're teaching them that they don't have to listen the first time. Can you imagine how difficult this must be, having 5, 6, or 20 children in a classroom that only listen when you're either angry or you're shouting or now you're counting for them so that they can listen? We teach our children that whatever we say there in the beginning is not important unless there's emotion to it. That's not truthful. That's not honest. If we want them to be honest and truthful people, we have to be honest with them. We've got to get to a place where we value what God values. Proverbs says that God despises a lying tongue. And yes, we use those examples or we think about it in a different way, but we should take this very practically to our homes and say, listen, I want to be honest in my home. When your child reacts in a specific way and they're not listening to what you're saying, get to their level, open your eyes wide, and make sure that they hear what you say and expect obedience the first time, always. Because if we don't do that, we are teaching them, in effect, we are teaching them that we don't mean what we say. We're teaching them that they don't have to listen. We're teaching them that I'm in control of the big people. We are teaching them that if they hold out long enough, we'll go away. Or if they ignore us, we'll go away. And lo and behold, we're teaching them that if you throw a loud enough tantrum, all of us will do whatever you want. Please remember that the stakes get higher as they grow older. This character of honesty and truth has to be there right from the beginning. Don't start when they're 12 or 13 trying to teach them that you mean what you say. Show them that when we talk with one another, we're honest and open. And even without being angry, we mean what we say. That's the way we can, not only with our words, but showing them with our actions, show them that we are truthful, honest. Now, this brings a reward. This teaches them that as our words mean something when we say it, and we don't have to shout so that it carries weight, we are teaching them that truth carries weight. Without emotion, without anger, if I say something, I want to make sure that I mean what I say. So let me encourage you. Let your yes be yes, and your no be no. And start with those you love and value most. Those little ones growing up in your home, show them that you value honesty and you live a life of truth. God bless you.